Or you use SuperOffice? Okay, quite a few. That's good. Because this is actually the basic of why we need a system or a strategy regarding CRM. First of all, my name is Andersen, working as a product manager in SuperOffice Norway. Been working with SuperOffice and CRM about 18 years. I'm going to guide you through this CRM. First of all, CRM. It's customer relationship management, but what does that mean? Any ideas? No? Is it a product? Is it a software? What is it? I think it's basically a strategy. It starts on top, having customer focus. And if you see, it's all about managing your customer portfolio. And there are a lot of businesses that handles patients, business to business, business to consumer, and so forth. But it's all about getting more out of your existing customer base. And how can we do that? Because you have the value of the customer portfolio on this axis, and you have the lifetime on this. And of course, some businesses like real estate, they always want to have the lifetime, the shortest, and the highest value. Sell your house, sell your apartment. But you have other businesses that means, okay, you would like to have this customer relationship over time. So you can get more value over this portfolio. And what can you do with this customer portfolio? Okay, you can recruit new customers, of course. But is that easy? No, it's pretty hard. To find new customers, of course, that's very hard. But let's see if you can actually see what's in your customer portfolio. To sell more to existing, cross-selling. To see, okay, this customer has bought product A, but hasn't bought product B. Maybe you can find more value of existing customers. That's more easy than recruiting new customers, of course. And it doesn't matter how many new customers you recruit on top if you don't reduce customer churn. Because then the value will be the same. If you put fill water on top and it all drains down, you need to stop this churn. And the last but not least, but maybe the most difficult thing, is actually seeing the customer portfolio and dismantle unprofitable customers. Because I'm sure that there are some customers in your customer database that are nagging, always complaining about the invoice, the service you provide, and so forth. And maybe they are better off at a competitor or another company than yours. Because they do what I mean by contact management and office automation. It's your daily task you do every day. You create appointment, you create phone calls, you create letters, emails. You have control over your company. That's what you do every day. And you need to have functionality in your business to provide that. And that's the core CRM. Have that functionality, but the way we have sold it in our product, the user interaction. Is it easy? Is it hard? Is it complex? Is it many buttons to click to do things? I will show you how SuperOffice have solved this in our solution. But before we go into the demo, you can see some common challenges regarding CRM. And this is the main challenges that every company struggles with. You have no and what that means is that you don't have any value. you don't know if you don't have that categorization inside the CRM system, it's no worth. And also, limited access and overview to relevant information. What CRM is actually transparent to have information across companies, across departments, visible in one place. So that salesperson A has his offers and quotes locally on his machine, and person B has everything on his laptop. It's about sharing information. And also the documentation, the contracts, the letters, the emails. It shouldn't reside in your local email client. It should be in a system for everyone to view. Now you're thinking, this is basic common knowledge, but actually it isn't. A lot of companies today don't have any of this system and don't have any clues how to solve it. And also, if I'm going to get access to this contract or this documentation, I need to log on to my company's VPN or actually go to my office department and get access to those. But if you have a CRM system, you can access data outside your office in a secure manner. Or you can actually have the Pocket CRM available to access information when you are out traveling. And this, no control over your colleagues' appointments, schedule. In SuperOffice you have a calendar. In this calendar you can see the availability of all your colleagues. Of the SuperOffice. This is the company card with some basic information about this customer. SuperOffice Norway, visiting, postal address, phone number, fax, website. segment or categorize this potential customer. So these are the basic. That's why we have so much room on the company card. SuperOffice. And to navigate through SuperOffice, you have this navigation panel. You have the company, the contact, the diary, sales, and project. Every main entity inside SuperOffice. And for each entity, you have some kind of tasks you can create. A phone call, you actually just click on one of those buttons. As easy as that. And of course, you also may need more information. Based so that you can drag and drop and see information. If you have a small screen, a large screen, you can also hide some navigation here. So I always would like to remove this so I have more space for viewing information inside SuperOffice. So when I want to create a new appointment, I just go to the new button up there. It's easier, it's more easier to look at. And so, if I go to the More tab, then you can have more information that's not standard in SuperOffice. For instance, what kind of subscription they have, what kind of product they have bought. You can expand information on each customer. And it's very important that you don't have too much fields, because you actually need to enter them inside SuperOffice to get value out of it. So if you have 100 different fields or buttons you need to fill out before you can register a contact or person, it won't be used. Okay, you can have some automations to do that, but if you need to manually fill them out, it won't be filled out, and the value will be like 0. Keep that in mind when you do that. So actually, if I go to edit here, I can see that, okay, this is not a customer, it's a former customer, or it's a supplier, and change. And all these list items are configurable. So a super user in SuperOffice will be able to change this according to their business and their needs. Of course, we have some standards that we put out of the box, but usually every customer needs to change those regarding their own business and their own processes, of course. I can also go to, for instance, double click on mine. Then I see my personal contact card in SuperOffice. Also here with the basic information, the categorization, segmentations that will follow the company, because I'm now attached to a company. If I was a standalone person, you can put our contact category whatever you like. Because some users of the SuperOffice are business to consumer, not business to business, then you need to have people not associated to a company. And also, these are the activities that are only associated to me and not the company. One thing that I would like to emphasize is the GDPR. That's required by law in all of EU. What SuperOffice does is that you can configure, set up SuperOffice to handle the GDPR compliance. And what that actually means is that you can have an own privacy center in SuperOffice, stating that when you register as a person in SuperOffice, you need to have a purpose for that. And SuperOffice has a purpose out of the box, meaning, okay, this person is registered in SuperOffice based on we're going to do some sales and service for those. And then you need a legal basis for actually storing him. Is that a contract? Is it a legitimate interest? Is it consent and so forth? You can choose from the legal basis that the law said. And the source is actually, where is this person originated from? Is it manually registered inside SuperOffice by me or any other associate? Or does it come from a web form, an email, a ticket, and so forth? And the date. So now you have full control over why this person is actually stored in a SuperOffice database. That's required by law. You can just set it up in SuperOffice, and you as a person don't need to think about it. but because you can think about, what if every time I register that person in SuperOffice, I need to consider the purpose, the legal base, the source? Okay, then it will be very hard to register a person in SuperOffice. So the main thing is it should be easy. You should set up the system to support your policies. And also, the e-marketing consent is based on that you're allowed to do mass mailings towards this person. It's nothing to do about GDPR, but it's actually a law that also handles that. And you need to have consent for actually doing mass mailings to persons. So SuperOffice can help you with that as well. So that's just what GDPR functionality in SuperOffice is all about. Okay, if we go to the diary, the calendar, I would like to say that in SuperOffice, the calendar or diary is the heart of SuperOffice. Why do I say that? Because in the calendar is where you actually register all your daily activities. Am I going to have a meeting with a potential customer, existing customer? Am I going to do a phone call? And I plan my day ahead. And I don't plan it only by time. I hook up the person, the company, the sale, the project. And what will that do? It will build history inside the SuperOffice system. So you can actually go back and see, what did Jan do to this customer at that date with what kind of task? Was it a document, email, phone call? And you have all this history. And that's the value of the CRM system, that you build history, interactions towards customers, persons, sales, and projects. In Outlook, it's only booked as a time slot, not put up to a person, a company, and so forth. And that's the value of the CRM system. That's why I say it's the heart of SuperOffice. And also, of course, we have integration that it will synchronize towards Gmail or Google or Outlook, so we have transparent activities. Because sadly enough, not all employees of a company use SuperOffice. Then you need to have availability in Exchange or Google as well. So that's the calendar, and it's very easy to create a new appointment. You can either just drag and drop, and then you see that SuperOffice has already suggested that I put this on SuperOffice Norway and Jan Andersen. And why that? Because that was the current contact, the current person I was actually looking at earlier. So SuperOffice tried to say, okay, most likely this is the person the company would like to add this meeting at. And I can, of course, choose for different kind of tasks. You can state some standard tasks here. This is a customer meeting, this is a planning, follow-up, phone call, and so forth. And you can actually configure it. So this is a customer meeting. Meeting with customer. You can just save it. and it's registered in your calendar. You can also drag and drop from your task list and add it to the calendar. So you have possibility to drag and drop also from the day view here to your calendar here. We would like to do that. So you have functionality to drag and drop and plan your days ahead regarding this. And the good part is that if you go to the company and the activities, you see here all the history that's been done to SuperOffice Norway, regardless of which employee of the company. So you have full transparent to see what did Jan, Alex, Øyvind do to that customer on a specific date. What task did he do? So we have full 360-degree overview of what's actually happened to the customer. So that's what it's all about and how we have solved it. Because if I would like to create a new phone call, I just go to New, click on Phone Call, and SuperOffice will have already given me phone call, SuperOffice Norway. You need to put it to a person, project, or sale, and write the description, and then it's stored. It's one click, 2 clicks. One to create, one to save. As easy as that. So I can put Jan Andersen. I can say call customer, and not today. We're going to call him on Friday at, let's see, 12:30. Save. Then I plan my day. SuperOffice will then notify me when the day comes. I need to call that customer, so I can plan and do activities. One other thing that's basic SuperOffice functionality is what do you do every day? You create letters, emails, archive emails inside SuperOffice. I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a letter in SuperOffice by just clicking on New, choosing Documents, and then you have a predefined set of templates that you have created, which has your company logos and company headings and so forth. It's up to you. You can create those kind of documents. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a document of type letter, new letter. And when I click on create, actually I'm now telling SuperOffice to use whatever kind of office automation I have installed on my computer. And for this reason, I have Google G Suite. I don't have Office 365 or Word Excel. I have Google. When I create a new document from SuperOffice, it will create this document in G Suite. And I have my company logo. It also have filled in the SuperOffice address and name, the dates, and the header. These are template variables that I put into my documents. So SuperOffice fill them out for you. It's as easy as that. You just create templates, you design it, and you put it in SuperOffice. And what will that benefit? Every employee of SuperOffice will use the same templates, your company logo, and so forth. Professional. Instead of having your own document template stored in a C drive, then you copy and paste and click and everything, put them into a centralized system like SuperOffice. And the fun part is that when you have, for instance, an Office cloud like this, G Suite, you can also then invite other people to share the documents, to add information inside the documents at the same time. Collaboration on these documents. So that's functionality outside SuperOffice, outside CRM, but in the cloud office. Office 365 has the same thing. And the best part, if you're using Google, you don't need any web tools. You only don't do any installation. You only log on to SuperOffice using the cloud services, and you're on. And these documents will, of course, be stored underneath the customers. I can open it again. I can edit from G Suite, and it's instantly saved. I don't need to click on save or do anything like that. That's handled by Google. Another well-used functionality is, of course, email. A lot of conversations are going on through email these days. If it's Outlook, it's Gmail, Macmail, whatever, you need to be able to store that conversation inside SuperOffice. And unfortunately now I don't have any Outlook client installed, but I do have a Gmail account. So I'm going to show you how you actually can store email inside SuperOffice. And what I've done now, I just logged on to my Gmail account, and I have an email saying that this is an email that will be archived during my introduction to CRM session today. And how can I actually take this web email and archive to SuperOffice? Then you need to have some kind of plugin or add-in in your browser or your Outlook. And today I'm having a plugin to my browser, Chrome browser, and that's the Gmail extension, the Gmail link. So actually I can say, what would I like to do with this email? Would I like it to archive the email, create an activity, a follow-up? That means that I create a calendar entry saying I would like to follow this email up, not archiving the entire email inside SuperOffice. Or would I actually like to create a request, a service ticket? This is something that I'm not going to answer. It's the back office that's going to do that. Then I can create a ticket, and we'll follow the workflow inside SuperOffice service. But now I'm just going to create an ordinary email. Click on Archive Email, and then I will get an information saying that this email address is registered on several contacts in SuperOffice. Click here to select the right one. So he will do a lookup on the email address and sees if it's available. If it isn't, you can actually create the person, the company, from within this mailing. And you can then choose the right company, the contact. You can associate it with a sale or a project. And also, you need to distinguish what kind of type of email or document this is. Often it's kind of incoming email, for instance, so you can differentiate in the activity folder. So I can actually now first click on this one, and it's not EW2, it's this one, and it's not order confirmation, it's email. And I can also set the visibility of this activity inside SuperOffice. Visible for all users, all user groups, all departments, or only me or my associated departments. You can also hide information inside SuperOffice if you would like. Then I click on Save. Now this email is archived in SuperOffice. So if I go back to SuperOffice, just do a refresh. Activity folder. You see now that Expand the World email is archived inside SuperOffice to everybody to view. As easy as one click, the email is archived in SuperOffice. And this will work both on Outlook and Gmail. Unfortunately, we don't have any archive buttons in Mac email. But then you can actually use the built-in inbox client in SuperOffice to get emails and archive them from there. Because we also provide an email client inside SuperOffice, which looks like this, click on inbox, and actually get the same email here without having to log on to an email client. Just get my mail inside here, and then I can archive this email, read it, send it, and so forth inside SuperOffice as well. That's the email integration. This is the office automation, things that you do every day, multiple times. It should be easy. And we would like you to continue using your preferred email client, Gmail, Outlook, but the possibility to archive this email to SuperOffice must be there, because these conversations are crucial that are stored in a CRM system, like SuperOffice. Okay. Sale is another session afterwards. I'm just going to go through it. That is part of the main entity of SuperOffice. If you have the user plan for it, it's here where you register your potential sale to existing customer, service sale, and so forth. Project can be used as many things in SuperOffice, but actually it's kind of where you gather information across the system. It's, for instance, that you would like to add documents on multiple contacts. Then you create a project, and you create the documents activities up onto that project. That will be more project members, not just on the SuperOffice Norway, but contractors, suppliers, and so forth. And then you have a collaboration of these documents on one place in SuperOffice. That's a project. Or you can use project for creating a services project. If you have any deliverance of some kind of services, you can create a project in SuperOffice to do that. So actually, projects in SuperOffice are used very different ways. But the best way of describing it is that you collaborate a lot of activities in one place. Selections in SuperOffice. Like I said before, that it's very important to put information inside SuperOffice. Keep it easy, not too many fields. Segment, categorize your customers, and the selections will then be a functionality to pull information out in a very good way. I think it's the most efficient, complex functionality in SuperOffice. It's the selections. If you know how to use them, it's very powerful. And selections you can create either as dynamic, static, or combined. And dynamic selection is actually listening in the database, saying if these criteria will meet categories one of customer A, B, and C, and our contact is me. Every time a new customer is registered inside SuperOffice that fits these criteria, it will pull up in this dynamic selection. I can just create it, and I can do my daily tasks, and I can go back to the selection and see how many customers are mine now. I can also do a selection based on, for instance, all sales that I've registered for my companies. Then you build the criteria. The criteria is everything that you put into SuperOffice. The name, the address, the owner, use-defined fields, interest, combination of those is actually what you pull out to SuperOffice. And it takes a little time to get to know this functionality, because you get a result whatever you do, whatever the criteria you put in. So you need to know your data before you pull it out. That's the main things about selections. And you can also do selection based on, I would like to have a selection over all my customers that doesn't have a customer meeting, a phone call, or a specific type of document. Then you can do combinations of selections. For instance, we can do okay, now just sorry about the title of this here. It's combine all my customers without customer meetings that we haven't visited this year. It's title. So now I can combine this selection, my customers, with appointment, my customer meetings. And if I hold these two up against, I will get the result of the customers I haven't visited, meaning the customers that doesn't have an activity type of customer meeting. Then I have this list there, and I can start working my way through this list. So SuperOffice can help you plan your day. These are the customers that I need to book a meeting with. These are the customers I need to call, and so forth. So we have many use cases based on selections. And all these other navigations are not standard, but they are also based on these user plans that we're going to go through afterwards. The service, the marketing, prospects are an external app. But the basic here are company, person, diary, sales and projects, and inbox, and selections. Those are the main entities when you use standard CRM functionality. And also, last but not least, inside the GUI, we have the dashboard. Because it should be a way of actually presenting data in a good way for the customer. And here we have different types of dashboard visualization of data inside SuperOffice, which are my data. These are my customer segmented on A, B, and C customers, where I'm tagged as our company. This is my activity pace. How many customer meeting, phone outgoing, services planning, activity types do I have in the course of a month, 3 months, and so forth? My pipeline in numbers: green, good; gray, status quo; red, warning. Documents I've created. How many offers, quotes, and so forth have I registered inside SuperOffice? It's a motivation for me as a user of SuperOffice that I actually use the system. I put information in and I get value out of it. That's the main purpose of these dashboards. It is only reporting on SuperOffice specific data. So it's not a BI solution that will look into ERP systems and other kinds. It's only SuperOffice data. And you have a variety of those. You have an overview, the sales overview regarding sales, pipeline management. I know Alex is going to show that afterwards. And you can create your own. Create a GDPR, for instance, stating how many tickets we have registered per category, per year, and on the different branches. So you can design and create your own dashboard inside SuperOffice. And keep in mind, it's a motivation for me. And if you start with a blank SuperOffice database, the dashboard will look a little bit like this. And that's not motivation. That if you log into SuperOffice every day and you see like this, okay, no value, no motivation. So that's why I put SuperOffice dashboard inside. Any questions? just going to show you this mini panel, which is a kind of a shortcut, which actually I can design or view whatever I would like. In this view, I'm viewing the monthly calendar. I think that's good. You can also try to illustrate how busy I am different days. If you see the blue arrow here, the more blue, the more occupied I am on that day. So trying to give you a little example here. But I can tell SuperOffice I would like to show more here. I would, for instance, like to see the person card instead of always opening it. It will then show me the person card I have clicked on in SuperOffice. Or you can, for instance, only show your favorite activities, favorite companies, favorite documents, favorite persons in a list there for easy access, shortcuts. So what you would like to view in this mini panel is up to you. You can just switch this and you can lock it with that lock there, and it will keep stable. It's actually for you. You can choose what you like to see on this screen, because it's your daily software that you work on every day. Customize it so your day will be the most efficient. And you have also the possibility to view more information here. You have the contacts, the employees of that company, the activities we have done towards that company, the projects that are associated with this company. That means actually every project that we are a project member of will be viewed underneath this company. Every sale process we have ongoing to that company will be viewed here. All tickets, requests we have will be viewed underneath here. And you can add some cool tabs here that does a lot of things. You can have a map, you can have Power BI, you can have whatever you would like, these web panels going forth there, that you can actually view information from other sources that's not SuperOffice, if you like. And it's very easy to create as a super user. So now I've just shown you the highlights of the basic CRM functionality inside SuperOffice. And it's all about how you actually configure it, you segment, because the value in SuperOffice is equal to none if you don't actually think about, okay, what kind of business are we running? Do we have customers? Should we categorize them like A, B, C customer, lost customer, potential customers? Should we have more fields here so we can do selection and search in SuperOffice? What kind of activity types are we measuring on? Because the sales sales manager, need to know how many customer meetings we have, contracts meetings we have, phone calls we do on each customer. Okay, then you need to change those inside SuperOffice. What kind of templates do we provide? Offers, quotes, letters, so forth. Then you need to put them inside SuperOffice. And that's configuration. That's all about what we do in SuperOffice. SuperOffice is nothing worth if you don't configure it based on how the customers would like to use it. The processes for using SuperOffice. And that's actually done using the maintenance line. So as a SuperOffice user, you can go into the settings and maintenance, and you can change all that. You can go in and change all list items in SuperOffice. I can go to company categories, and I can change the name, I can delete, I can add new, and you have this segmentation categorization that you can change inside SuperOffice. And you can also see which of those selection list items should be visible for which user group. And this is what we do when we implement SuperOffice. We configure SuperOffice based on the company's process, and we train a user, a super user, to be able to go inside and change and do these kinds of things. Because you need to do that constantly. Because the CRM is not static. You need to continue changing, and adding fields, deleting fields, keeping that process alive. So these are all the list items you can change in SuperOffice. And it's quite a few. Because you see here you have the category, the business, position, the interest, templates, countries, currency, and so forth. There's a lot of configurations that you can do out of the box in SuperOffice. And also when it comes to, for instance, the document templates, you have a set of templates here. You can go to the properties of that specific template. You can edit it. No web tools, so do that. And then you can change the logo, you can change the template variables that we like to automatically be filled in this document template. Yes?
In regards to the templates, I have a question, because in obviously the previous version, the on-site one,
yeah,
it was a lot easier hooking up new templates.
Yes.
It's not so anymore.
No.
Are we doing something with it?
It's on the backlog, definitely, because we see that it's very hard to do what you did on the Windows client and the previous version in the web client when it comes to changing, adding templates. So we need to figure out a good way of doing that in the online environment as opposed to the web bar. So it's definitely something we're working on.
Just to say, earlier in the earlier versions, you could fix all your templates. You had them in a folder, and when you had a new version, you could just put a drop-down list and select the correct one and save, and you were done. But now you actually physically have to go into each one, edit them, save them, close them, go on to the next, edit them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more available for super users because it was lying on your share folders and you can open it backdoor.
Yeah.
But definitely we need to look into that.
Yeah.
So here you can actually then design your own template. You can have multiple templates and you can change it and save it, and it will be available for all users afterwards. And also, here you manage your users. As a super user, you need to probably add users, set some license or user plans on that person. Here's where you do that. And access to this client is only for administrators or super users of SuperOffice. So I would recommend that not every user in the company has access to this, because then you can do a lot of damage. But you can, of course, filter the administrator role, saying that a customer should only have access to users, and adding users and deleting users. And another person in the company should have access to list items, templates, and so forth. So you can differentiate on that one. But keep it to the minimum, who has admin, but at least two. So if one forgets the password, you have backup.
You can log in with the CRM user.
Yeah,
with
you can do that. That's not everybody knows that, especially on the online environment and so forth. So you need to have access to 2 users, I would recommend. But of course there are backdoors you can use. Okay, other questions?
Is there an easy way to find customers?
Yeah, good question. So if you go back to the client here, there are different ways. You can actually start typing the name in this fast search here, and that will search only companies, and we'll find all companies related to what you search for here. And you also get a preview of actually each company that you view here. So I can go back and say, no, it's the HQ I would like, and just select that one. And you can navigate to that one. That's the fast search you can do on every entity in SuperOffice. And the good with this search is that you can actually have favorites. So when you have marked a company person as favorite, it will add to this list items. And also the history list. These are the companies I have recently been in contact with. So I can easily navigate to this one. Or you can do a more advanced search, where you can search on specific fields, combination of fields, to find a company. So you can, for instance, see company name starts with %, and then it will search every customer in the database. And this is something you can do on each entity, because now you have company persons, you have project selections, and you can have search on every field inside the system. That's more advanced search. If you want to have a quick search, you can do it here. Or you also have a free text search here. You can add the free text search and it will search from everything inside SuperOffice. That's in the database. Not including in the documents, but in the database. Okay. Other questions? No? Then I'm finished. Thank you very much for this session.